Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you're doing? And welcome to another episode of Breaking Dawn. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this Sunday morning, guys. Before I start, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, all that lovely stuff. I hope I'm loud and clear. I hope I'm nice and smooth, hopefully, guys. But you know what I would say, guys? It's a positive morning this morning. It's a positive morning. We ain't had many of those recently. We haven't had many positives to cheer and to sing from the rooftops about in recent months, of course, guys. So whenever we get a little bit of positivity, I think it's very important that we grasp in that positivity and we enjoy it. Because at the end of the day, guys, football is about enjoying, isn't it? It's about enjoying. Unfortunately, some people want to see the world burn. Some people just want to be so pessimistic all the time. At the end of the day, if you can't enjoy a win, there's no point you supporting football. I enjoyed the win yesterday. And I'm not looking to the future at the moment. Of course, I'm concerned about a number of things at Manchester United, and I'm one to say it more than anyone. So, but when we win a game, I'm a Man United fan. I'm going to be happy. When we lose a game, I'm going to be annoyed. Guys, and that's how it should always be. It should always be that way. You should always enjoy the wins when they come, and you should also be upset when they lose. And that's part of being a United fan at the end of the day. Some people, they just want to see the world burn, as I said. And if you write something on Twitter, or you write something on social media, you're toxic positivity. If you write something that opposite to that, you're toxic negativity. You can't win. So just be yourself and celebrate the win and be a Man United fan. And that's how we should all do things, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, let me know what you think about the game. Obviously, I want to know your opinions about certain players and stuff, the ratings and everything like that. My ratings are here if you can see them. My ratings are there, guys. Let me know how you feel about my ratings. And let me know who was your man of match as well, because it was a very comfortable game in the end. I mean, I would say that Man United started off a little bit slow, a little bit concerning. We got a lucky break with the goal, in my opinion. I felt the goal was out of the blue. Great pass from Mbeumo, great finish from Mason Mount. And I think from there, we went from strength to strength, so to speak, especially in the first half. In the second half, again, is where my concern lies. We took our foot off the pedal again, and I don't think Man United should be doing that. I think we should be carry on the whole 90 minutes, go for the third, go for the fourth, and I think we could have done that if we really pushed it. But we seem to go a little bit in our shell a little bit and a little bit cautious. And I don't think Man United should be going cautious in football matches. I always believe in just go for the kill, Luckily enough, Sunderland did not pose a serious threat. That's to do with the performance of Lammens, Lenny Yoro, De Ligt, of course, who were absolutely fantastic yesterday again, guys. And I would say that we looked pretty solid. And it just goes to show you how important one or two players can be in that lineup, isn't it? So how important a competent goalkeeper is, for example. And, the Lammens didn't have to do anything special, made a couple of decent saves, didn't have to do anything special. But the fact that he brought this assurance to the team, this calmness to the team, is what makes a great goalkeeper, is to do the simple things right. And a great footballer on the pitch as well, outfield, he does the simple things right. We seemed incapable of doing these kind of things over the last few years, incapable of doing the simple things right, And I was delighted with Lammens yesterday. I was delighted with the team yesterday. I was delighted with the performance yesterday. And I'm not going to bring a downer on anything, because there's a time and a place for that. We've had enough downers over this last few weeks and months. We've had enough, disappointments and shouting and arguing and disagreeing. And I think it's about time that we enjoyed that win. And we got a massive game against Liverpool coming up. We all know it's the international break now. We got a massive game coming up against Liverpool. And of course, those players are going to be judged. And either way, those players are going to be judged anyway. So whilst we win, we celebrate the win, and we live in now. Right now, what we are is happy with the win yesterday, because you can only beat what's in front of you. Sunderland are no mugs. They've beaten Nottingham Forest away. They drew with Aston Villa with 10 men. They are not a bad side. And people will obviously start throwing the book at us. That, it's only Sunderland South. It's only Sunderland. Why are you getting over this? Calm down. I'm not going to calm down. The funny enough is that, the thing with Lammens, and I was bigging up Lammens. Of course, I was bigging up Lammens, yesterday, because I've been an advocate for Lammens for the last year or so, ever since no one knew who he was. And I was talking about him well over a year ago now, and people go, stop talking about these young goalkeepers, and here we are, guys. Man of the match performance, some may argue, and that is what it is. Definitely my man of the match, of course. And I think we need to take these players and say, look, yeah, we praise them. We don't overrate players. We don't go over the top. We don't put pressure on the players, but you have to congratulate a good performance. And that is what we want. A nice, comfortable, calm performance for Sunderland. When it came to taking that ball from the air, he took that ball from the air. I told you, he's a Petr Cech, he's a Courtois, baby Courtois. I mean, I told you guys, shouts at his defenders like Peter Schmeichel. You know, this is what we're saying, you know, and for me, he was always a better fit than Emi Martinez. And I said that. We didn't need an Emi Martinez. We didn't need that guy because we need a guy that is going to be calm. We don't need another bozo. And I said that, didn't I? You know, and here we are. And I think that there's a lot of people out there who just want, a lot of people out there, there's people out there that want to see Ruben Amorim sacked. So they're not going to be happy about the result. In fact, they're going to be the opposite. Some of them are going to be disappointed that we won. You know, damn, that we won. I can't be negative about Ruben Amorim. I can't throw those stats out there this week and stuff like that. You know who they are. There's lots of them on Twitter that just dare to moan, and just say bad things about the manager and things like that. Look, the manager will work itself out, and I've always said that. What will happen with Ruben Amorim will work itself out. You know, you have to win football matches, and that's exactly what it is. Did he save himself yesterday? Yes, because probably if he lost against Sunderland, it was game over, in my opinion. There's still some question marks over his team selections. Of course there is. Bruno Shaw in that team, of course, shouldn't be playing in that team. Definitely not. I think that most importantly, those are the players in the team that are out of place and probably played the worst yesterday again. You know, and this is what I'm saying. You know, nothing is perfect, but whilst we win football matches, stick away your agenda and start supporting your football club. And that's what I would say about these so-called fans or social media fans, whatever they are. Now, look, guys, there was nothing. It wasn't a vintage performance, but what it was is a comfortable performance. And in a way, that pleases me more because, you know, we were never at threat. And it's been very, very rare. I think the only time I felt this way, guys, was it was around this time last year, funny enough. It was against Everton at Old Trafford last year. We won 4-0. Do you remember that game? And it was probably our most comfortable game in a while, in a year, wasn't it? That 4-0 win against Everton last year, obviously, you know. So we know that we can pull performances like this out the bag occasionally, not really regularly, but occasionally. So obviously, I'm not going to get overboard. But what I am going to do, I'm going to celebrate, and I'm going to say that this may be the start of something. Liverpool lost the game yesterday to Chelsea, 2-1. We are only 5 points behind Liverpool, guys. 5 points behind Liverpool. You know, anything could change. We beat Liverpool. I mean, I know it's a big if. I know it's Anfield. I know I would take a draw in that game, to be honest with you. But if we beat Liverpool at Anfield, which you never know, football is a funny old game, as they say. If we go and beat Liverpool at Anfield, we're 2 points behind Liverpool. The great Liverpool, of course, guys. We need to understand that we just need to keep our feet on the ground and not overreact in any situation. But football is about enjoying, you know. It's no point just being negative all the time. You have to be a little bit positive sometimes, of course, guys. And that's what I would say. Now, in regards to my ratings, as you can see there's my ratings there. Let me know what you think about my ratings, guys, and what you would counter, if you would counter anything, guys. Absolutely. I've given Lammens the man of the match, of course, guys. I've given him the man of the match. He was definitely my man of the match yesterday. The reason he was my man of the match is because it was his debut, and it's almost like he's been there for years, in my opinion. It's almost like he's been there for years, you know, and yeah, delighted with the debut. Let me just say hello to the community. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're all blessed. Big up, Tybo. What's going on, my bro? Hope you're doing well. So, some fans are putting the agendas and egos above United. It's beyond me. I don't care who is the manager and who plays, as long as we play football and win. Tybo, I can't believe some of these players, you know, some of these so-called fans, should I say. I can't believe some of them I saw yesterday, you know, act like United fans. But when it comes to it, and when it comes to supporting your football club, you really see their agenda, don't you? You really see their negativity shine through. I mean, or what should I say, shine through? I mean, I don't know. But you really see it prompt their negativity and their... I mean, I don't call them fans, to be honest with you. I don't care how long they supposedly support the football club. I don't call them fans because at the end of the day, you're supposed to be supporting your football club. But win, lose or draw, you support your football club, especially when you win, guys. When you win, if you can't be happy when you win a football match, guys, listen, we are not in the 30th game of the season, right? What is it, the 7th, 8th game of the season? We're 5 points behind Liverpool. We're 7 points behind Arsenal. And as we know that anything can change in this game, I'm not saying we're going to challenge for the league, but guys, listen, this is not as bad as you think. listen, like, I know we got massive games coming up. I know we got the Brightons and the West Hams and the Tottenhams and the Newcastles coming up. And ultimately, Ruben Amorim is going to be judged. And ultimately, we may lose some games, and Ruben Amorim might not last. But what we do right now is that we celebrate the win. And I think that there's a lot of people out there just getting defensive because they've made, every time we win a game, they get all defensive and they get on the offense, they get on the defense, shall I say. And they feel embarrassed because, I can't talk about Ruben Amorim this week. Why can't I talk about Ruben Amorim this week? Why can't I be negative this week? I wanted to put my stats up. This many games he's won in this many years or months and blah, blah, blah. Oh, that rubbish that they do. The stats merchant, the narrative stats merchants. That's what I call them. The narrative stat merchants that just go out there and throw stats out there to fit their agenda. Do you know what I mean? We can all do that. Of course, guys. I like to look at the things in the positive. I saw some great positives yesterday. Lammens, of course, one of them. But another one was Benjamin Sesko. What a performance again from the Serbian international, guys. Absolutely domineering a performance. Kept that ball, held that ball up, brought other players into play, contributed to the Mason Mount goal again. If you look at it further on in the move, and the flick-ons, the combinations with Bremo, I really enjoyed it, and I think that Bremo tired as the game went on. I think in the second half he got a little bit tired and he had to be brought off. His stamina needs to be worked on a little bit. But Sesko, man, I said it yesterday. I think Sesko will score 20 plus goals this season. I honestly think that. And yesterday, that poacher goal. You know what? I've never been more happy to see a poacher goal like that than I saw yesterday with Benjamin Sesko. It just took it back. It gave me a little bit of nostalgia when I saw that poacher's goal yesterday, because you could score the 30-yard screamers, right? All you want, right? But when you don't score those simple goals, those simple chances that we have, because it shows me that they're creating chances. There was everyone who performed well yesterday. The only thing missing from Ahmad's performance was an assist and a goal, of course, but he had a good performance. And we have to give credit to Ahmad as well. He did very well. De Ligt was a rock as usual. Lenny Yoro, guys, it just makes me wonder why Ruben Amorim played Maguire last week. I don't understand why he did that. And that is where we criticize, isn't it? Because we could have had one or three more points, should I say, against Brentford last week. It just beggars belief why we did that. And even during the game, we brought on Maguire and moved De Ligt to the right-hand side of the fence. And I thought that was a little bit weird. I think we got to stop doing that, in my opinion. We got to stop doing that, and we need to start being more consistent with the lineup in regards to the defense and stuff, in my opinion. Absolutely. Big up, Tyborg, my friend. Big up. Ephraim, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything is good with you. Hope you're doing well. Big up, Ephraim. Yeah, he reminds me of a great goalkeeper. That's what he reminds me of. Absolutely brilliant. Big up, William. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Big up, Sanjay. How you doing? Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you again, of course. Good to see you. Big up, Sal. Big up, my friend. Big up, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. I hope you're blessed. And hope you're enjoying the Sunday this morning, mate. Because you know what? We won the game, man. We won the game. And I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm better than I was last week. This time, if it wasn't this time last week, I was, it was dreadful, Good morning, Dembo. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Finding a clean sheet and a goalkeeper who looks like he knows what the heck he's doing. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And, I said yesterday, wouldn't it be nice if we get a comfortable game? And no surprise that we have a competent goalkeeper in goal and we get a comfortable game. There's no substitute for having a great goalkeeper. I'm not going to throw him with a great mark yet, but a competent goalkeeper. There's no substitute for having a competent goalkeeper between the sticks. That's what I would say. And it contributed a lot yesterday, of course. Big up, everyone. Tyborg. So this is how it feels like when you win. Good morning, everyone. Big up, Tybo. Yeah, it feels good, doesn't it? For some people, it feels bad. So for some United fans, so-called United fans that are out there this morning, on this Sunday morning, just want the world to burn. Doom and gloom merchants, I call them. For some of them, yeah, it's bad because they wanted to have a good week of slandering Ruben Amorim. That's what they wanted. Now they're going to have a week or 2 weeks of not, because they've got the international break to contend with. Of course, guys. So they could just crawl back into their little hole and just be quiet for the whole week, of course, guys. Because that's, at the end of the day, look, we can all be negative. We can all be critical about the team. And that's perfectly understandable. But when you win a game, And you're coming out and you're saying, yeah, but so what? He won this game, but he's lost this many games. But he won this game. But you know what? Look at his statistics on this one. You know what they're doing? And this is what this is what tells me they're not happy about Man United winning. How can you not be happy about Man United winning? It's all about winning at the end of the day. So that makes you believe that these guys are just frauds. They're frauds. We all know them. There's a couple online. We all know who they are. At the end of the day, you see them everywhere. Won't shout them out. Won't give them any promotion. But you know who they are. And I couldn't believe what I've seen. Big up Amir. William. I was flying back from Barcelona as the result. I was buzzing 3-point collector. Big up, William. How was your holiday? I hope you had a great time in La Rambla, my friend. Been Barcelona a few times. Seen Man United, a 3-3 draw. There, seen the Champions League final. Great memories, of course. I was delighted. I was buzzing, mate, William. And I just hope we can carry on. Obviously, there are bigger tests to come. We know that. No, I'm not going to downplay Sunderland because Sunderland have got a good start to the season and they're still above us in the league. So what I would say is that Liverpool is the ultimate test. You can't get much harder than Liverpool away. And if we can come out of that game unscathed, if we can come out of that game without a defeat, I think you know what, we will be moving. So look, I'll think about that when it comes. It's going to come thick and fast, of course, and we will be ready for that game. And hopefully we'll be ready for that game. My biggest concern is obviously I felt Luke Shaw was poor again yesterday, and I felt like Bruno was poor in a as well. And again, I don't think they should be playing in the positions that they're playing, or Luke Shaw shouldn't be playing anyway at all. But I don't think Bruno should be playing in that number 8, and I stick by that. You know, I don't think he's good in that number 8 position. There was a situation where he crossed the ball, and it was a bad cross. And obviously, Sesko couldn't get the ball. And you saw him throwing his arms around like that, like this. You know what I mean? He's got to stop doing that. That's not what captains do. He's got to stop doing that, in my opinion. You know, and I would call out every good performance. Everyone had a good performance yesterday. Casemiro maybe a little bit, didn't have much to do, but solid performance, average. But other than that, there was a lot of good performances, and I will call out good performance, but I will also call out incompetence. I will also call out the players that, you know what, I feel like need to be changed in the future. Because when I saw the lineup, I mean, let's not lie, guys, it was a little bit disappointing when we saw Bruno and Luke Shaw in there. Luke Shaw got skinned a lot of times in the game. He's pretty poor. But we kept a clean sheet, and mainly that was down to Senny Lammens and Lenny Yoro and De Ligt, of course, guys. Not a great performance, but a few positives, clean sheets, Lammens. It wasn't a great performance, but it was a calm performance. And for me, those are great performances. When you get calm performances, that's what you want in football. Winning games comfortably, like we used to play Coventry City at Old Trafford, and we used to win 2-0, and you wouldn't even think nothing of it. And that was that type of game. And we haven't had any of those type of games enough over the years. In fact, I can't remember the last. I did say it was, Everton last year, 4-0. That was the last time I felt that I had a comfortable game watching Manchester United. I remember it because I was on holiday, and look, you know, it wasn't a vintage performance, but it was a calm performance, and it's definitely a start. There's still concerns about the selection of the lineup, which I feel like will come unstuck against better sides, even though I think Sunderland have started very well this season. Those need to be addressed. I don't think he's going to change the lineup for the next game, though, in my opinion, against Liverpool. I think that will be the lineup most likely that will play against Liverpool, in my opinion. Whether we agree or not, I mean, you know, I would change some things. Big up, Chow. What's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Morning, Sesko, man of the match. Dalot played against a short. Again, Sesko was one of the man of the matches, absolutely. There was quite a few in there. I would give it to Lammens because it was his debut. And to come into Old Trafford, many goalkeepers have come to Man United and failed. You know, it's a cesspit of negativity around Man United. And it's very hard as a Man United goalkeeper to go in there and perform. You know, you're standing on the shoulders of legends, Van der Sar and Peter Schmeichel, players of that ilk, of course, you know. So I would say, look, Sesko, probably man of the match for a lot of people. I would give it to Senny Lammens because obviously it's his debut, and I felt he added a lot of calm, a lot of authority to the team, and I felt like he can go from strength to strength, you know. Ahmad, man of the match. He was looking every time about chess coming. I don't think Ahmad was the man of the match, mate. Far from it. Absolutely not. No assists, no goals. Didn't cross the ball. No. Ahmad and Bremer was better than him. Saying Ahmad is just like an agenda. Saying Ahmad was man of the match. He ran fast. That's what he did. Didn't get any assists. Didn't get any crosses in the box. Didn't create anything. what is a man in the match? And Bremer had 1 assist. So what is a man in the match? You know, Mason Mount played very well. You know, and I'm Mason Mount's biggest critic, and he scored a goal and was pressing well. I don't think Ahmad was man in the match. Far from it. Probably 6th or 7th. Watching the same game. Metal, morning Sal. I think Amram finally adapted a bit. We were 4-4-2 off the ball, and having a Mount as an extra man in midfield helped, and Lammens, what a breath of fresh air. He's always done that, Metal. This is not a new thing, Metal. He's done that all the time, but people choose not to watch it. People choose not to see it. It's easy to look at things in hindsight after the game and say, oh, he done that. I've been talking about this for months. He transitions into a 4-4-2. He sometimes transitions into the 4-2-3-1. He does it all the time, but people don't want to. People don't want to see that. They refuse to see that because they got this agenda. They got this system. System was not the problem yesterday. He played a 3-4-2-1. We won with a 3-4-2-1, and that's what I want to say. You know what I mean? And that is what it was. I mean, the system mongers can go to hell, to be honest with you, because they, you know, I've been saying it for a long time. You don't dominate games like that, like we dominated against Arsenal and other games, if the system is the problem. Do you know what I mean? Absolutely. Freddie Van, what's going on, my friend? Absolutely. I hope you're doing well. Sal agreed. Lammens has just bought assurance. I'm sure the players were already anticipating that insurance, having seen him in training. Yeah. Look, guys, people think I come on here. I have a platform, right? And I've been watching Sending the Men's for 1 year. And I'm the one who first spoke about Sending the Men. I don't want to be humble, but I do keep my ear to the ground in regards to players. And I said, when we signed, I was advocating for the Sending the Men signing because I knew this. I knew he's going to be a great goalkeeper. It's not just the fact that he was playing in Belgium and people, but he's playing in Belgium. Anyone could do well in the Belgium league and blah, blah, blah. You know, it's nothing to do with that. The thing is, I see good goalkeepers when I see good goalkeepers. I mean, the goal is the same size wherever you go. The goal is always going to be the same size. Do you know what I mean? And I felt that he was assured. He was always confident. He was rarely making mistakes. And he's young as well. And this people remember, you know. And I thought that guy is a good guy. We need to get that guy, you know. Soon to be a Belgium international. Trust me, he will be called up to Belgian national team. Freddie Van. Sending the Men's a goalkeeper we can rely on. I want to know what's going on, guys, with Cunha. There's a big conversation to be had about Cunha. Whether it is confidence or whether he's not getting the right ball to his feet. I don't know what's going on with Cunha a little bit concerned, but I'm not worried in regards to Cunha. I think Mateus Cunha is going to come good. I really do think so. I think he just needs to be rotated a little bit. Sometimes a player needs to be taken out, brought in to improve and to get better and to get used to your surroundings, because he hasn't really started. He had a good couple of first games. He hasn't really started like a house on fire, like I expected him to start. His work ethic is second to none. Brilliant. He's brilliant. But he hasn't really, he's a different player to Mason Mount, in my opinion. He's a different player to Mason Mount. But I don't think, he's played well so far this season. I don't think he's really exerted himself to the level that I thought he would exert himself, of course. So you are the one who tell us about Lammens. Credit to you, big up. Thank you, Ephraim. I'm glad you say that, because, you know, there's not a lot of people who will come on here and say, Sal said it, because a lot of people got big platforms, big mouths, and that's what they have. And, I don't call things after they happen. I call things before they happen. You know, people think that I'm sitting here, being positive about Ruben Amram because I'm positive, toxic FC. I'm not. I'm Manchester United FC. And as I've always said, I'm right in the middle of everything and always look at things in context, you know. And I think this is how we always should be. You know, we shouldn't be extreme in our opinions. And when I was talking about Sending the Men's coming through, I mean, I did, and I'm not going to put pressure on the lad, right? I knew about Sending the Men's before he was linked to Man United. I knew he was the next up-and-coming Belgian goalkeeper, the baby Courtois, they were calling him in Belgium. And I was looking at this player, I think this guy is good. He's tall, he's domineering, he comes out for a cross. And I couldn't believe the audacity, some of the narratives that I was hearing before we signed him. I was hearing like, oh, he's too young, he can't claim, he's like Onana with his saves and blah, blah, blah. All that nonsense that I was hearing. And I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because I actually knew what the goalkeeper was about, you know. But I'm glad. Thank you, Ephraim. I really appreciate you, my friend. We keep going, guys. It's all about Man United. And, all I'm focused on now is that Liverpool game. The Liverpool game is in my head now. The Liverpool game is the one that I'm cautiously optimistic, but Liverpool want to bounce back after the defeat against Chelsea. I would have much rather Liverpool draw that game to not add any more fuel to the fire, if you know what I mean. And to be honest with you guys, and let's wait and see. Absolutely, Freddie Van. The only worry is that kind of looked like Sunderland manager realised his mistake and took off Adingo. After that, things got tight for us. I agree. I think one of the things, Freddie Van, about Man United, which we seem to be doing wrong, is sitting back after we score goals. We sit back and we don't go for the kill. Like the third goal, the fourth goal, the fifth goal. We don't really go for the kill. And I think, when games are set up to go for the kill. I think it's more to do with Man United. I know he took off the fullback, but I think that's a little bit unfair on him because I don't think it was entirely his fault. I just felt Man United gave him an opportunity to get back in the game. I want to see more. Obviously, I'm not judging everything on this one game against Sunderland. What I want to see more tactical in-game management from Ruben Amorim. Of course I do. I felt his substitutes were splendid yesterday. They're very good, apart from maybe the Maguire one. I was a little bit, what you doing there, mate? Moving Vidic to the moving De Ligt to the right side and Maguire in the middle again is what he did against Brentford, which raises a little bit of an eye opener. But yeah, look, you know what? We have to wait and see. Obviously, time is an education, and we'll have to wait and see in the next coming games. We got a lot more harder games coming up. I think we got 3 out of 4 away games, isn't it? Something like that. We got Tottenham away. Let's not forget that. West Ham. We know what West Ham are at the London Stadium. They seem to up their game against Man United every time at the London Stadium. I can't remember the last time we won at the London Stadium. I think it was the one where Ibrahimovic scored a goal, wasn't it? We won 2-0 or something like that. But yeah, look. We got a lot of hard games to coming up, and I hope this is the start of something. That's all I can say to you guys. I hope this is the start of something. I hope that we go into the next game against Liverpool, and you know what? Probably Man United might play well against Liverpool. You never know with Man United, do you? It's those performances against Brentford and Man City that are always lurking in the background, and that's what I would say about Man United over the last few years, indeed, Absolutely. Big up, yes, we do, my friend. Big up, Amir. Benny, the 2 shot Lammens had to deal with, the one at the front post, Onana and Bayende, let those fly in, absolutely. And another positive, Sesko, another goal, and a comfortable 3 points. Absolutely, Benny. Delighted with Sesko. I knew I would be delighted with Sesko. I've always knew he's a fantastic player, and I knew once he gets into his groove, I think he's going to be great. Great partnership he's building with Mbeumo, I think, in my opinion. Great partnership. However, I would say that Mbeumo, his stamina is looking a little bit off. I think Mbeumo needs to work on the old cardio a little bit and start getting his stamina up, of course. And speaking of cardio, I need to do a bit of running. I haven't done a couple of running for the last week. I need to be doing it. Goodness me. Yeah, but needs to work on his cardio a little bit. Needs to build up his stamina somewhat because he does drift off into games. But I am delighted with Sesko and Mbeumo. I like that partnership right there that they're building. It is impressing me, to be honest with you. And we are looking far more dangerous up front. Let's be honest, guys. We're looking far more potent. We're looking far more dangerous up front. Things are looking a lot more positive, guys. Absolutely. Benny, and surprise, the hairy moment Bruno was involved in, absolutely, when we had no business being in that position on the 18-yard line, the one that was checked for the pen. Yeah, look, we were very lucky there. I actually felt it could have been a red card to Cedi Lammens. Luckily, there was not enough contact in there, and it was obviously Mr. Bruno getting involved in that again, guys. Bruno just needs to get out of that defensive line. Do not get involved in that defensive line. It caused havoc there. The biggest problem for me, and I'm not going to bring too many downers onto the game because we won the game, and I don't want to talk about too many downers as well. When Bruno got the ball, he crossed the ball, it was a bad cross, and then he was throwing his arms up in the air because at Sesko, and I don't like that. I do not like that because that's not good for Sesko. That's not good for confidence, just like with Lenny Yoro. Now, it may be, just maybe, if Bruno Fernandes did not call out Yoro in the media after the Man City game, Lenny Yoro would have played against Brentford, and maybe we wouldn't have lost to Brentford. We all know how good Lenny Yoro is, and Lenny Yoro needs to be playing every single game, in my opinion. Now, look, we haven't got the perfect right back, but yes, Ahmad was good yesterday, and I think he's the best one we have at the moment. unless he's going to bring in a youth player, Mantato or Scanlon or player of that ilk. I think that Ahmad is the perfect guy there. In regards to the game, I think that the game against Liverpool will be different, though. I think that, and I don't think against Liverpool we can go playing Dalot as a left wing back. You know what I mean? I don't think we could do that against Liverpool. There's Mohamed Salah there, by the way, just a small matter of him. You know, so I think that we need to reshuffle it a little bit on the right wing back, on the wing back positions. You know, we may have to do the 5, obviously. Playing against Liverpool, there's no shame in going to Anfield and being more pragmatic, because we've done it in the past under Alex Ferguson. We snatch and grab. Many times we snatched and grabbed. Who remembers John O'Shea snatching, grabbing a win against Liverpool at Anfield? Remember that, isn't it? We've done it many times. You have to adapt to what the game is, you know. And when you're playing at Old Trafford, you can expand yourself a little bit more. You can be more adventurous. But going to places like Anfield, you're going to have to be a little bit pragmatic. That's why I didn't understand the onslaught on Arsenal when they went to Anfield and they went a little bit more defensive, guys. Anfield's one of the most difficult places to go in the world, and you have to be careful. You could be out the game in the first 20 minutes if you're not careful. But the great thing about going to places like Anfield is that you can make a history for yourself. Like I mentioned there, John O'Shea. We remember that goal like the back of our hand right now. Ronaldo free kick, goalkeeper parries it out. John O'Shea, last minute, 1-0. And Gary Neville, the shirt like this and stuff like that, you know. And you can make a name for yourself. Go and make a name. We made a song about Diego Forlan, you know, making the Scousers cry at Anfield. We made a new name for Juan Mata, Juanfield, you know, and this is what you do. You know, this is what you do. When you go to those grounds, you have a chance to make history. This is you. This is about you. This is what it's all about, guys. You have a chance to make history. You know what I mean? Big up, Benny. Freddie Van. Was also happy to see Ahmad have a good game. Yeah, he took a lot of heat recently, but Dalot, man, his time is way. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Ahmad's had a difficult couple of weeks in regards to his family bereavement, and I wish his family well. It's been a difficult week for him. However, in regards to Dalot, as you say, yeah, look, Dalot, I would say it with a passion, guys. I'm not on the Dalot train. I mean, I heard someone say that when you're at Old Trafford, right, and I've heard it a couple of times when I've been there. Oh, Dalot. There's lots of complaints about Dalot in this crowd. That's what I'm saying. There's lots of complaints about, oh, Dalot, for goodness sake, Dalot this, Dalot that. And yeah, look, he claims to be a left wing back and a right wing back, a left back and a right back. I don't think he's any. Not on the Man United level, in my opinion. But look, you know, we kept a clean sheet. Happy about that. Luke Shaw was, I think, worse, to be honest with you. And he got skimmed a lot of times in the game, and we were pretty lucky to keep that clean sheet. If it wasn't for De Ligt, Lammens, and Yoro, we wouldn't have kept a clean sheet. I would say if Bayinde and Anano in goal, one of those two, it probably would have been 2-2. The game probably would have been 2-2. It probably would have been a draw. You know what I mean? And that's what we're saying. Guys, absolutely. Freddie Van. We win and people are still negative, bitching over bullshit. Some creators are, I mean, they are, mate. We all know who they are. We all know some of them have got big platforms as well and spit their garbage. And I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and months and months and months about these people. You know, some of them are social media fans. They're on social media with their fake profiles of Pogba and things like that, you know, criticizing the manager, slandering the manager. And even yesterday, oh, he only won because this, but he's still got this many stats. Oh, big deal. He's got this many wins in this many games. That is the sort of thing, you know, I'm talking about. That is not a Man United fan. And I think people need to be wary of that. That is not a Man United fan, you know, and people who co-sign this, people who endorse these kind of, create these kind of social media personnel are not Man United fans either. You know, I would say that. And those people who have big platforms who've been moaning all week about Ruben Amorim non-stop, whether it's on Sky Sports, whether it's on TalkSport, wherever it was, are not either. They might as well just go and support Liverpool at the end of the day, because I wouldn't see any compliments from yesterday's game from them, because I felt that Ruben Amorim had a good performance in management-wise. Right, the selection, the team lineup wasn't the best, but the in-game management was relatively good. And I called some of the changes when he changed it. The only question I had was the Maguire one. You know, I don't understand how you can claim to be a United fan and be negative at a time that you win. They want us to lose, and that's the thing. Dylan, good morning. Sal, we beat Chelsea and Chelsea beat Liverpool. So quick maths. Look, It was at Stamford Bridge, obviously, big difference, 10 men and all that. I watched Chelsea yesterday, and I felt Chelsea were there for the taking. And I'm going to say this, guys. When Liverpool were attacking that game, Liverpool looked like they were going to score every time. However, I felt that Arne Slot got his in-game management wrong. I think he brought an endo, and I think it sort of disrupted the rhythm of the game. And I felt like he should be criticised for that. He had a poor performance yesterday, in my opinion. And, it shows you how tight the Premier League is, isn't it, Dylan? How tight, how every game you can't call. Every game is going to be different. I wouldn't be surprised if Man United go to Anfield and beat Liverpool. And we go and beat Liverpool and we go... I mean, wouldn't that be ironic, guys, if Man United go and beat Liverpool and get our 2 games won in a row? Because obviously the narrative, he hasn't won 2 games in a row, blah, blah, blah. Imagine he goes to Anfield and wins 2 games in a row. Wouldn't that be brilliant? Wouldn't that be good? Absolutely. Ellen, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Sal, Sesko gave me Cavani vibes yesterday. All ran strike. Who did everything right. He done absolutely everything right, man. Absolutely everything right. Can't discriminate. Discriminate is the wrong word. I can't criticize the performance at all. It was a brilliant performance from Sesko yesterday. Starting to become the player I knew he would be. Very, very strong. Holding up the ball. A threat in the box. Poacher. That's what we need. Someone who just puts that ball in the back of the net. That's what we've been missing for. No one would have been there like Sesko would have been there yesterday for that second goal. That was instinct. That is striker's instinct. And that's what we've been missing. Striker's instinct, So, look, we're so quick to start talking about Rasmus Højlund. And Rasmus Højlund in Napoli. He's smashing it in Napoli, which he's not. But he's smashing it on all these things. But we got our own striker now. I believe we have a better striker. I believe we have a proper poacher. And I believe this guy is going to be a star at Man United. I really do. I did call it that he's going to score 20 plus goals this season. But guys, let's wait and see. But I do believe he'll score a lot more goals for Manchester United. Big up Metal. Big up my friend. Wesley. Morning, Sal. My thing is that Amram changes his team every week. He must stick with the team he played against Sunderland. My biggest disappointment, Wesley, I would say that I still don't believe in Bruno being played at a number 8. I don't believe in Luke Shaw. And I don't believe in Dalot playing left wing back. I think that needs to change, right? That's my opinion, right? I think that needs to change. Other than that, I think everything's fine. I think that needs to change right there. We obviously need signings. We obviously need new midfielders in there. Of course we do. And wing backs as well. But I would not trust Dalot as a left wing back. Never. You know what I mean? So I don't think we can keep that against Liverpool. When you're Dalot playing on the left, when he's primarily a right fullback, as a left wing back, next week we're gonna have Mohamed Salah playing against Dalot, which is a big difference. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's going to make a huge difference. I think he needs to change it a little bit, but keep the basis and the nucleus of the team the same. Daryl, good morning, Daryl. How you doing, brother? Suppose Sesko and Lammens, you're at a standard. Absolutely, those 3, absolutely. Let's not forget De Ligt. It goes under the radar, but De Ligt, solid as a rock. The new Nemanja Vidic. De Ligt is absolutely phenomenal. I think he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And I don't think he gets enough credit, De Ligt, because he does it every single week. It's a bit like when Dennis Irwin used to play for Man United and we just ignored his performances every time, 7 out of 10, 6 or 7 out of 10, minimum. And we used to ignore it because he used to do it week in, week out, week in, week out, and it became the norm. And I think this is happening with De Ligt as well. I think he's been phenomenal. And Lenny Euro, generational. It just annoys me a little bit, Daryl, that he didn't play against Brentford. And I felt that we would have had at least 1 point more right now if he did. Probably three. Who knows? But that disappoints me a little bit. And obviously the season's defined on fine margins. You look at the games and we should have beaten Fulham. That would have been a win as well. That would have been 4 wins in 7 games. And that wouldn't have been that bad, would it? Do you know what I mean? Ephraim, Sal, Dalot has to be benched. He's not good enough to start. I agree. Tybo, the biggest positive about Lammens is that he seems to bring his calmness to the back line. Yeah, but also seems like a character, the lad, already shouting at players. It's something I haven't seen in a while there, Tybo, about the calmness. Number one, the calmness is that what we've been missing for a long time. You can't emphasize how important bringing calm and assurance to the team is. The goalkeeper position is very important, and the screaming at the players, I haven't seen that in years. I'm sorry. Tybo, when was the last time we saw a goalkeeper screaming at his defenders? Never saw it with De Gea. Never saw it with Onana. Not seen it with a buy-in there. When was the last time we saw? I mean, was it probably Van der Sar? Then it's Schmeichel before that. Just those small things. I know we got very low picking fruit at the moment, but those small things mean a lot because it shows me he's not intimidated. He's not in awe of Old Trafford and playing in front of 75,000 people. He's a leader. It made me think he's a leader. He don't care. And I remember a situation when he came and collected the ball. He collected the ball and he went down to the ground with the ball. And Maguire went up to him and went to tap him on the shoulder. And then Maguire tapped him on the head, and he just moved his head out of the way, like, get out. You know what I mean? It was like that. And I thought, that guy. And that was Maguire to a Maguire. He just went, yeah. No praise. Get out. You know what I mean? And that's what I felt. I thought, yeah, that guy's our goalkeeper. He's the number one for Man United. And, the worst thing about it is that I've seen people coming on social media talking about Sonny Lammens. Oh, you're overreacting, Sal. You're being too... Blah, blah, blah. And look, guys, I'm delighted because he's my guy. I would say he's my guy because I've been watching him for over a year. And it's nice to see. It's nice to see. And, because, I envisioned that it would be like this, And sometimes we just need to, as a fan base, we just need to take a step back, and just be calm, and just be calm and say, look, you know what? This is that. He played well yesterday. Fantastic performance. Great start for him. We go on to the next game, and that's what we should be like. Not, it's only because of this, only because it's Sunderland, stat, and this what annoys me about a portion of the fan base, in the quoted comments, of course, Big up Tyborg. Daryl, Liverpool don't look like strong. I was watching them play against Chelsea. Yeah. They missed. Obviously, they're missing a couple of players right there. If I was a Liverpool fan, I'd be incredibly worried. They spent a lot of money on Florian Wirtz and Isaac, and they have not performed to the levels that is expected of how much, a 300 million pair. Florian Wirtz was giving away the ball left, right, and centre. But look, guys, we're intelligent. We know that it's difficult to come from the Bundesliga, going into the Premier League, playing at a club like Liverpool. Lots of pressure, big price tag, as we know. We know firsthand what that is like, isn't it? But Liverpool, they don't look good. They haven't looked good all season. They've been really lucky in some of the games. Looking at the last-minute goals that they've got this season, they would be well below us right now. You know what I mean? And we're still only 5 points away from Liverpool. And that's what people don't understand that. Look, if I was a Man United manager right now, I would say, look, guys, we got Liverpool at Anfield, right? I want you to keep this in your head. We beat Liverpool. We're 2 points from Liverpool, right? Right now, we're 7 points behind Arsenal. That's nothing, right? And I would just keep calm and say, look, next game, we need to not lose to Liverpool. That's most important, right? It's going to be very difficult. We didn't lose there last season. We drew there 2-2 with Licha Martinez, though. And I think that we need to take a look at this and be quietly confident that we can move up this league. This league is not the strongest it's been in years. People were telling me that, this league is the best it's ever been. I almost fainted when I heard that. It was ridiculous. You know what I mean? I could go on why this league the Premier League is not the strongest as it's ever been. It's not, Big up, Daryl. Smash the like, subscribe. Thank you so much, Ephraim. Thank you, mate. Big up, Jaffa. What's going on, my friend? Greetings, mate. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. All played well. The players mentioned they are backing the manager. The manager said he needs backing. And from the players, Casemiro is slow and rash and the age needs changing. I think Bruno shouldn't be playing in the middle. I think Casemiro needs changing. I agree. We need two new midfielders there, Jaffa. This is why in the summer we were screaming out for a couple of midfielders, because this would have made a huge difference to Man United. I'm telling you right now, Man United, Jaffa, are a couple of players away from title challenging. That's what I'm saying. A couple of players, guys. I'm not even asking for 5 or 6. I'm asking for 2 more players. Man United will be way up there. For example, for argument's sake, we had Wharton and Baleba, or Wharton and Anderson in that midfield. I think we'll be a lot better, a lot more sterner. I think there's a number of problems. Dalot is a problem. Played poor yesterday, Dalot, and Bruno played poor yesterday. And I felt like Bruno almost contributed to Lammens getting a red card. Almost. It got in his way. I think that we're so close, but so far at the same time. William. Had a great holiday, thanks, Sal. United win, maybe buzzing. For me, as man of match, did everything. I can't argue with that, Jaffa. He done very well yesterday. Very pleased with him and delighted with him, of course. Big up, UK Darren. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Cunha should have had a goal and Bremo should have had an Ahmad from open play. It should have been 5, but I'm happy with the... Yeah, look, this is the problem with Man United, Jaffa, isn't it? We're not ruthless enough and we don't take our chances. This has been a problem with Man United for a while. However, I'm glad that Man United got 2 goals yesterday, won 2-0, clean sheet. Sunderland are no mugs. Sunderland are a good team. They, you know, as we've seen this season so far. And I'm happy. I'm delighted. Fergatov, I'm really looking forward to Liverpool game and Amram scored in that fraud slot. I mean, guys, people were telling me Slot's a great manager, Slot's of this, Slot's of that. And I told you, yeah, okay, yeah. All he did was go into Liverpool and play Jurgen Klopp's team and press play. That's all he did. I said the key for Arne Slot is when he has his own team, when he has to build his own team. That was the key for Arne Slot. And as we can see, it's not really working, bruv. You know what I mean? It's not really working. It's not working out for him. And no surprise. And I said, when the going gets tough, when he starts losing a couple of games right there, that is when the true character shows. And yesterday, what I saw is that, look, they're 1 point from they're 2 points from the top. I'm not going to overreact. But what I saw, was in-game management faults in Arne Slot yesterday. Last season, I don't think he was put under pressure. I don't think he was put under the amount of pressure that he's being put under now. I know that off-field issues have played a part in Liverpool and my condolences and stuff like that. I know that is difficult, but we're looking at in-game management here in regards to the in-game management of what Arne Slot did yesterday. And I thought he managed the game poorly yesterday, you know. Freddie, how do you reckon we should approach the Liverpool game then? The same, but I would honestly, I'll be honest, guys, I'll play a double pivot. I would probably, look, I would play a double pivot. I would drop Bruno, but he's not going to drop Bruno. We need to play a controlling game of football. So the controlling side of things would be Mason Mount and Mbeumo as a number 10s. Sesko up front. I would not play Dalot as a left wing back. I don't think he's a left foot. He's not a left footer, is he? Like, you know, but we're very lightweight, ain't we? When you think about it, when you look at the team, when you look at it in reality, we're very lightweight, ain't we, bro? And I would say I would play Dorgu as a left wing back. I would play him, and I'll probably play Marmad on the right. He's going to play the same lineup, I think, though, Freddie Van. So, all right, do it. And I'm going to be supporting the team. And I say that if he does it, you better hope that we don't get outrun. I think the best thing about the game against Liverpool is that, you know, everyone's writing us off. We are the underdogs in that game, and everyone's going to be right. Just like they were writing us off last season, we're going to get smashed. This going to happen. This going to happen. We are the underdogs against Liverpool, no doubt about it. So we got to go into that game thinking, you know what? Let's be solid. Let's be hard to beat. And that's the first thing we need to do. And whenever we get an opportunity, maybe if it gets to 60 minutes, 65 minutes, we can take off a Mason Mount and bring on Cunha and things like that. Do you know what I mean? And just go for it. You know what I mean? We almost won the game against Liverpool last season. Do you remember when we drew 2-2 and Mason, Harry Maguire missed an open goal? You know what I mean? We nearly won it. Wesley. Hi, Sal. You know, the Liverpool fans at my work said to me, Sesko was a good bad buy. He only scored 1 goal for Manchester United, but look at them now. I mean, look, you know what? You know what I would say about that, Wesley? What I would say about Liverpool fans, it's not that they think that Sesko's a bad player. It's that they want Sesko to be a bad player. They are reassuring themselves. They are comforting themselves. And everyone who wants to criticize Sesko, they are doing the same. They're reassuring themselves. It's self-comfort. You know, that's what they're doing. They don't actually believe it. It's what they want. It's not what they believe. You know, because I can turn around to them and I could praise Liverpool players. I could say, yeah, he's a brilliant player. Like I just did with Florian Wirtz. I said Florian Wirtz has had a bad start to the season. He's been awful. So has Isaac. But I'm not gonna throw the book at him because obviously it's new coming from the Bundesliga and it's going to be difficult. And that's what intelligent fans do. There's a very cult atmosphere in English football. Of course, there's cults everywhere and pro this, pro that. You know, and I would say that. Always give credit where it's due. Sesko scored 2 and 3. I mean, at the end of the day, how many games has he started? Guys, he's not playing in the Champions League either. Gyökeres has scored 3 goals, right? He scored 2 in 1 game, right? And I mean, if Sesko goes on a winning run, goal scoring run, I said it. I said that before the season started that Sesko will be one of the surprise packages. Sesko will probably be one of the top scorers in the Premier League. That's what I said, and I think he will. I think he'll score 20 plus goals this season. You know, 2 already. Kenny, and he hasn't started every game. This is what people forget. He's had minutes here and there. Chelsea scored Liverpool. I mean, I would say that Liverpool threw the game away, Kenny. I think that when you're looking at the 70th minute and the 80th minute, you saw that Liverpool were the most likely to score. And, it made me laugh. I mean, obviously, my bro Hussam, I saw his stream and it was funny because his sarcasm is peak. I felt that, Liverpool threw the game away. They really messed it up. People are blaming individuals, but there was a point when Chelsea had Hato and Reece James as centre backs, right? At the end of the game, they had Hato and they had Reece James as centre backs, and that was Liverpool's chance to attack Chelsea and counter that. And every time they got into the final third, they made that wrong pass. They made the wrong pass, and I felt that Liverpool, that game was there for the taking. I felt Chelsea, I mean, another stinker from Garnacho. What do you think about that, guys? No one's mentioning that about everyone leaves us and becomes better players. Sancho didn't. Has anyone mentioned Sancho? Cool party for Sancho and Garnacho. Yeah, look, narratives, isn't it, at the end of the day? Look, Martial as well. So, look, I felt Liverpool threw the game away yesterday. I felt they really threw the game away yesterday. And Chelsea were there for the taking. I mean, I was looking at the game and I was seeing Liverpool attacking and pressing. They were pressing really well, especially at the end of the game. And then I was seeing Chelsea going to lose this game. I think Chelsea going to see the goal. And then they had that attack and poor defending for Liverpool. And I don't mind that. I wanted a draw, really. I'll be honest, Kenny. And I'll tell you why I wanted a draw. Because I want Man United to catch up with all the teams. I've always got that idea in my head that we can still catch up, And this is what I say to everyone. You never know what happens in football. There's been a lot of people been throwing out things about Ruben Amorim and just completely going gun-ho in the Ruben Amorim out brigade. And we all know who they are. And I never once sat here and say, get him out of my club, get out of the club, get him out, sack him now. I never did that because I knew we'd come close in a few games. And we just need to win that game against Sunderland. And if we win against Liverpool, then everything's gravy. But if we lose against Liverpool, of course, we're going to be back in square one, ain't we? It's going to be difficult. Benny, if you were to offer me a point now at Anfield, I'll take it. It's all about building momentum now. Yeah, I would take a point at Anfield right now. If you offer me a point at Anfield, I'll take it. Obviously, the Man United fan in me obviously thinks that maybe we can nick it. Maybe we get John O'Shea, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? Maybe we can nick it. I mean, and I always be like that, especially like if a game is a draw, when you're drawing a game and you're like a few minutes to go and, everyone expected you to lose and then you're going on the attack and you can nick that goal and win 1-0. It's about time someone beat Liverpool at Anfield, right? It's about time someone went to Anfield and scored Liverpool and stop fearing Anfield. And that's what I would say. We got to stop fearing it. Benny, anyone notice no big media circus about Arne Slot despite the fact we lost it? Yeah, I know. And this is hated adored, never ignored again, isn't it? This is where we are. This is what they do, isn't it? They if this was Ruben Amorim, maybe the book would be thrown at him. Obviously, Arne Slot bought some time last season by winning the Premier League, of course, but that we have to look at it in context because obviously these media companies and social media people love to look at things in context. They love to look at things in stats. Let's look at the stats at how many of those players on the pitch are Arne Slot's players who won the league last season. Right? Let's look at that stats, right? And, and let's look at how many players are on the pitch this season that are Arne Slot's players. And there you go. And this is what we said at the beginning of the season, that he needs to build his own team. And he will be judged when he has to build his own team. It's not like Ruben Amorim, who walked into an absolute mess. You know what I mean? And this is the thing. This is what people don't understand. They look at things and, when to fit a narrative that they have. Big up, Benny. William, you were spot on about Lammens. Breath of fresh air after two bozos. It looks like the goalkeeper position is final. So it looks that way. And hopefully everything all being well, of course, with him. I really hope that everything goes well with him, my friend. I really hope that he goes from strength to strength. And I feel confident about him starting at Anfield. Just like I felt confident at him starting at the Etihad. I thought he should have started at the Etihad. He probably would have saved the first goal. I feel confident about Anfield now. I feel like, we got... When you think about Onana and you think about Bayern, you think, going to Anfield, you're like, you can see them making a bozo moment. When I think about sending Lammens now, I've got that feeling of what I had with Van der Sar. When I watch Courtois or I watch Petr Cech back in the day, Big up, Rasta. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you. Good day, mate. Good day, Trizzy. How you doing, mate? You're doing well. Thoughts on the 1,000 waistcoats delivered early to Carrington on Friday. emblazoned with United crest. Apparently, Southgate is in the door. The delivery was supposed to be. I would argue, though, Trizzy, Man United have always, back in the Sir Alex Ferguson days, used to wear blazers and suits. It used to be religiously. They used to go to games with blazers and suits. So that could be a thing. Might not be Gareth Southgate, but yeah, I get the joke. But no, thank you to Southgate. Not a good manager. Poor manager. Absolutely not. No, thank you. Yeah, that was sort of catering staff, Benny. Absolutely. 100% hard to beat is the way to go. Give them the respect, but go toe-to-toe. It is almost worked last time. Yeah, you have to not be ignorant or naive in regards to going to Anfield. We have to be clever and smart and attack when we have the opportunity to attack, but defend well as a unit when we have the opportunity to defend. There's no shame in going there and being hard to beat. But you can't be 100% defensive, and I think that's where Arsenal went wrong. They went 100% defensive, and I would say that go there, but also be a threat. This is why Sesko will always be up front, and I will have Mbremo there as well. Whenever we get a chance to attack, Mbremo on the ball, and I think Mbremo can cause a lot of damage in that game. I really do. Liverpool are going to be going into that game to win it, because obviously they've lost a couple of games in a row. There were 3 games in a row now, haven't they? They lost 3 games in a row, guys. Oh, no one's speaking about that. So look, they're going to be wanting to win that game, and we need to be ready for it and pick them off. They're at a low confidence at the moment, and I think we can pick them up. Never listen to Liverpool fans about United. They hate us, absolutely. Fergatov, Sal, would you sign Dumfries in January if possible? I believe we didn't try and sign him in January when his release clause was 15 million. I would sign Dumfries, Ferguson, because I believe we need a right wing back. I do believe. But obviously, we got Ahmad there. I think in certain games, for example, Liverpool away, right? We need a proper right wing back who can transition into a fullback. And I think with Ahmad as a right wing back, he's not going to be transitioning into a fullback. So that is a little bit of a worry for me, because obviously Liverpool work well on the wings, and Robertson and Salah and players of that ilks. And obviously they've got Ekatike and they've got Florian Wirtz and all these players. So we got to be very, very defensively astute against Liverpool. And I don't think Ahmad is defensively astute. Ahmad is the sort of player that plays against Sunderland, against these type of teams at Old Trafford. Tacking and this and that. That is the type of time we need Ahmad. We need a player like Dumfries when we're playing Liverpool. You know what I mean? Like they have Frimpong. We need a Frimpong. So, for example, we need that sort of player, And I just hope that against Liverpool, we exert ourselves well. And I mean, it's about time we beat them. And that's what I would say, Big up. EA was 15 million. I believe it was about that. That would have been great. I don't know why we didn't go for that, to be honest with you. I don't know why. Experienced player like that. Semenyo at Bournemouth is an absolute fire this season. Another couple of goals. Yeah, we spoke about him during the summer, but I don't think Man United would be going after another number 10. I think we're fully stacked in regards to number 10s. A little bit concerned about Mainu and Xerxes not playing games. I think that Xerxes not wanted by Ruben Amorim. I believe that he doesn't rate him. I don't think it's fair, in my opinion. I think Xerxes had games last season where he actually played very well. He don't rate him, and that's just the way football is, isn't it? Sometimes managers just don't rate certain players, and he don't rate them. And he obviously has a problem with Mainu as well. Mainu played some minutes yesterday, but, it's just a bit like, whatever, because he has to sort of thing, But, yeah, look, what I would say is that, delighted overall in regards to result. Happy. And we move on, guys. And we got an international break now. I will be doing the England watch-alongs, guys. I will be doing the England watch-alongs. God help me, by the way. But, guys, thank you, every single one of you. Look, guys, we grasp in glory, right? And we don't be too disappointed when we lose. I know we get angry when we lose, and it's been a very toxic week. A couple of weeks, indeed. It's been a toxic couple of weeks. But when we get a win, we got to grasp in those victories, and we got to celebrate those victories, because that's what football is about at the end of the day, isn't it, guys? That's what it's all about. Thank you, everyone who joined me. Don't forget, I will be back later on for Chatterbox, so don't forget to join me for that, guys. Put your notifications on. Guys, I need to get to 50 likes. What's going on? What's going on, guys? Guys, smash the like buttons when you leave, please, guys. Smash the like buttons. It's very important. Don't be a fraud. Smash the like buttons. Guys, very important, and don't want any frauds, guys. So you need to smash that like button, guys. Even if you dislike me, smash the like button. For goodness sake, it's not going to hurt you, is it? You know what I mean? Guys, thanks so much. Have a great day. I'll see you later on for Chatterboxer. Peace.